Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you my skin problems story so that you can get to know me a little bit more and so you can also see what I went through with this problem. And I'm going to divide this story into three chunks. The first one is from when I was born up to when I was 14 years of age, second one from 14 up to 22, and the third one from 22 up to now basically. So I started to have skin problems when I was 3 years old, and I had rashes coming out on my throat, my face, mainly my eyes and my arms in this area here, and behind my legs. So that was really strange, and my parents took me to the hospital where I stayed for a few days, and I had some allergy tests done on me, and the results showed that I was intolerant to some foods such as apples, which was the worst, wheat products, tomatoes, and so the doctors told me just try to keep the assumption of these foods limited, so you don't have problems. And at first that seemed to work. I mean, I was kind of alright. I had problems mainly during the cold months of the year, but during summer I was alright. Just so you know, I grew up in Italy, so I could go to the beach during the summer, so I had those 3-4 months during which I was alright. But during the winter, my skin wasn't at its best. I still had problems, scratches and things like that, but all in all, I could keep it under control. Then things got worse after I turned 14 and when I was in school, and at a certain period I started to have new rashes and more frequently, and that was strange again because suddenly out of the blue, my skin was going like it was going bananas basically. I was having this, I needed to scratch myself and it was just horrible. So instead of going to the hospital at the time, because I remember the list for the hospital was like months long, so I would have waited like months before seeing a doctor. So my mom and I decided to go to a private dermatologist, and what he said basically was that first of all, the allergy tests that I've done are completely useless. So he just said, look, you're not intolerant to anything, you can eat everything, what you have is that you are allergic to dust. I was like, okay, this is a new thing, so that was interesting for me. And he said, okay, just try to avoid dust as much as you can, keep your room tidy, and try to avoid maybe some fabrics that can irritate your skin, like wool for example. And he said, don't worry, just eat everything. And when I was there, of course my skin was really bad, so he gave me some cortisone and antihistamine pills so that I could fall asleep without scratching myself, and I could keep the itchiness under control. And he also gave me like new creams. Actually I don't remember the names, but new creams, and they were kind of alright, but the only problem is that they were only working when my skin was okay. So when my skin was bad, was irritated, they didn't do anything. And so for a while, so in that period, of course I still had skin problems, and I was going through this vicious cycle. So basically I was alright for a period of time, and then skin problems came out again for a long period of time, and then during those periods, if I couldn't do anything, if I couldn't keep them under control, I would go to the doctor, or I would go to the pharmacy to get like antihistamines and cortisone, even cortisone cream, which is not good. But I didn't know what to do, and when your skin is like irritated, it's just you can't stand but scratch it. I mean, if you've been through, I'm sure you can relate to that. So I was going through this vicious cycle all over again, and I couldn't find a solution for this problem. So I was started thinking, maybe it is me. I don't know. I didn't know. I thought I was the problem at that point because I was going through this cycle. I didn't know what to do, and during the years in my high school, it also started to become a real problem because I didn't feel confidence when talking to people, meeting new people. Even at home, I felt with my family, even though they knew, I had these problems, it was still, a problem because, you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, So, so my years of high school were not that good in terms of this problem, which are basically affecting my whole life so far. up to when I found the solution. But what I didn't know is that when I turned 18, things went west basically, and really that was the worst period. I remember it was after February, it was 2010, I started to have like skin problems all over my body. Just if before were just a little bit in this area, now they were all over my face, and like you could really see just my eyes. I had like a red halo just around them, around my mouth as well, my neck, and behind my ears, and now it was expanding from here. It was just going all over the arm, on my fingers as well, my hands, and just this area. This was horrible as well, my back and my legs. So I actually didn't know what to do, and I remember in that period I was really stressed. And I remember I didn't go to school for like, I was absent quite a few times from school because I didn't even feel like going out of bed in the morning. I mean, I was feeling really bad, and you know, I was in such a negative state of mind that I didn't know what to do, and no one could. I mean, doctors couldn't give me the solutions, and you know, my mom couldn't do anything because, you know, what can she do? I mean, she was just sorry for me. So as I said, I was going through this cycle, and at that point I didn't know what to do. And I remember there was a day when, I mean, a few times I had to go to the hospital because I actually didn't know what to do. I mean, my skin was so bad that I actually couldn't stretch my arm completely because it was so dry that, you know, it was so painful. And I remember like during the night I couldn't sleep. I would wake up because of the itchiness and try to contain myself, but of course I couldn't. And you know, I didn't even want to sleep in my room because I just didn't want to see my bed, because I related it to this problem. It was kind of a Pavlovian response in a way. And so I was actually sleeping in the living room, and I used to sleep during the day because I couldn't sleep during the night. So there was a really stressful period. And I remember that summer 2010, yeah, when I was 18, that summer was, I mean, it wasn't good. And what I noticed was that for the very first time I started to have problems during the summer as well. And that was really new for me, and it was actually scary, because if before I could actually be okay, be normal for like a few months and enjoy myself, now basically for the whole year I thought there was, I mean, there was the possibility of me being just affected by this problem all year round. So I was actually scared. I was like, okay, I don't know what actually to do if this happens, because, you know, at first that was my only solution. I was always looking forward to the summer because I said, okay, now I'm gonna feel okay, you know, I can go to the beach, my skin can be dried up, you know, if you go to the beach. Also the doctor told me, if you go to the beach, you know, it's gonna be okay. I mean, your skin is going to dry up, which was alright. I mean, when I remembered, I mean, I still, now that I don't have problems, I feel alright when I go I mean, to the beach, because of the sun and the sea salt. But anyway, as I said, the summer was bad, and so that was it. I mean, I was still in this problem. I was starting to I was starting to feel it also psychologically, and that's when that was really bad, because then when it starts to get you in the mind, and you can't just, it's like a cancer. You constantly think about it, and I basically became depressed, and because I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I don't really want to just go on with my life with this bloody problem. I was like, you never know. I mean, you never know when you're going to be okay. You never know when it's gonna come out. So it was just, you know, horrible. And then what happened is that when I turned 18, I moved to England because I wanted to learn English and do a bit of experience, because I didn't want to study immediately after high school. You know, I was just tired and of school, and you know, also with this problem, I was like, no, I can't even study anymore at the moment. So I went to London, and you know, with this problem, of course. And what happened was that in that period, again, I went through ups and downs, but I noticed mainly that this problem would come out, especially when I was under stress. So for example, there was a period when I was looking for a job and I needed money, but you know, I was tight in terms of time, and that was when I felt this. So basically that was an expression of myself. I mean, I was expressing my you know, my stress, my state of being nervous through my skin. And that was another point, a learning point for me. So I was like, okay, I know it's not the weather. I mean, weather can affect my condition, but you know, it's not the root cause. Food, I actually didn't know because I went through did some diets, but I didn't know, and I was like, okay, stress can make it worse. So I actually realized that, but still I didn't have the root cause for this problem. So again, I was there in London, and you know, I was like, okay, I mean, I know I have this problem, so what can you just, you know, live with it? So I was especially I was just okay, just living my life, and I was like, okay, I know it's going to come out soon, or maybe not, but I know it's gonna come out eventually. And especially during winter, when you know, when it's cold, I remember just going out, just as soon as my nose was out of the door, my skin would like be red and dry. Even if I put my cream like on several times a day, as soon as I went out, it was just red and dry. So no matter what I did, you know, a little bit of wind, and you know, it would just burst out again. So I then went to uni. I started uni and things were alright, but then I remember during my second year, I actually started to have like really bad problems again, like the first time when I was 18. And that was a really, I mean, I think even worse than the first one. I was just, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I was just frustrated, exhausted, you know, I had to study, I had to do a bit of work, and you know, at the same time cope with this problem. You know, that's not a good mix, because it also affects your social life, of course. You know, if you just don't want to be around people, and you know, when they can see you in this state, you know, I was even embarrassed to see myself in the mirror. So when I was with people, especially when meeting new people, I was really shy, and I'm really introvert by nature, and you know, this thing actually didn't help me out at all. So that period was really stressful. I remember I went to uni, but I remember I had like a picture, my face is completely red, and I was just disgusting myself, really. I didn't know what to do, and I used to wear so many clothes, like my scarf up to here, even if it was hot or warm at uni. I still couldn't just, you know, keep myself like, you know, with like a t-shirt like this, because I was so embarrassed. And so that was a huge problem as well. And so again, in that period, I basically became depressed again, and especially before before the uni finished. I think it was 2014. I remember I had found a job, but then I had to leave and go back to Italy because I was depressed. I didn't really want to go out of bed because I felt like shit, to be honest. And I didn't even have a reason to go out of bed because I felt useless, and I was like, why should I go out of bed and do something today when I feel like this? So I went back home. No, before that, I remember that I came across on YouTube, I came across some videos about a vegan lifestyle, raw vegan lifestyle, and I started, just by chance, I started to watch these videos, and you know, I didn't know anything at the time, to be honest. I didn't know anything about veganism in general, and I saw these people, you know, they were speaking about these diets where you eat lots of fruits and veggies, and you know, you don't have animal products, and I mean, it was really inspiring. I don't know, maybe something clicked in my mind, and I remember immediately, like 2 days afterwards, I bought a blender and I started to make smoothies. But that summer I went back home, and so I didn't actually make any changes. I went just back home because I just want to stay at home with my mom, and just spend the summer there, which was actually really horrible. I didn't enjoy myself. I didn't even go out with my friends, and you know, even if I said I then would call them back saying no, I just don't feel like it. So you know, it was a difficult time, and you know, a lot was going through my mind. I was depressed. I wasn't doing anything, and still again I went to the doctor again, because sometimes I had to go to the hospital because of the situation, because the situation was really bad, and it became so bad that I remember going to a new dermatologist because of myself. Said, okay, let's try this new one. It was the best in the area, and I remember we paid like 150 euros for an hour session, which is a lot of money. And there again, it just saw my you know, my body. It just noted down where my eczema or the dermatitis, and it was basically all over. It was just disgusting, really. I was disgusted by myself, by my condition. And then he said, look, you don't have to worry, I'm gonna give you these like medicines, so antihistamines and cortisone again for a week, because I mean the situation was really worrying. I mean, either I went to the hospital or, you know, I took these things. So I did, and of course it was okay, because, you know, I mean, these are temporary solutions that to keep your like itchiness and problems under control, but that's not the solution. That's the problem. It gives you I mean, it helps you for a little while, but then, you know, you go back to having problems, and that's what I didn't want, because I wanted to get rid of this problem completely, like forever. So what I did then, I followed his advice. I mean, it's okay, just enjoy life. And you know, at the end of summer I was still like in the same situation. Maybe I was a little bit better because, you know, I went to the beach, but still my skin was just horrible. And even if it wasn't like, it was alright, it was just red, completely red. So you can see like just red around my eyes and my mouth. It was just horrible. So then I went back to England for uni. What I did then, and that's when I started to go back to those videos, and I decided to try it out, to be honest. And I was like, okay, why not try it out? I mean, I've tried everything, let's see if this works. So I first became vegetarian. So now we are in October 2014, yeah. And I first became vegetarian, so I started to avoid meat, and I will start to feel better. And then step by step I started to avoid dairy products, and so first milk, then cheese, and then every foods with dairy products in them. And that's when I started to realize that my skin was getting better, because I noticed that the red, I mean, my skin was not red anymore, and it was starting to be alright. I was like, oh, what's going on now? So I was almost vegan up to the end of the year. And then what happens is that I was hosted by an English family for Christmas, and I didn't tell them I was vegan because I mean, it wasn't like kind of official. I was stressed trying it out, so I was like, okay, it's Christmas, I'm gonna eat something, like whatever they're gonna eat, I'm gonna eat it. So, and in those 2-3 days I remember I had like milk or dairy products, and when I left my face was red again. And that was the bottom line for me. I was like, okay, if this might be the problem. And from that I decided, from the 1st of January 2015, I'm going to go officially vegan, and I'm going to avoid just all animal products. And that's what I did. And step by step, I noticed that my skin was becoming better and better and better. And that was amazing. So I started to eat more fruits and veggies, and you know, I didn't eat processed foods or like junk foods, even if I never had junk foods before anyway. But I was trying to eat as clean as possible, and step by step I noticed that my skin was becoming better, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? I mean, I was amazed. And step by step I started eating more and more fruits and veggies, and now I am a vegan / raw vegan. I mean, I eat loads of fruits and veggies during the day. I still eat something cooked, but most of the time I eat fruits and veggies. And I've noticed that my skin is now, I mean, it became normal basically. I don't have trouble sleeping anymore. It's not itchy. I don't have like red hair around my face. And as you can see, I mean, I don't have problems now wearing like t-shirts or anything, and I feel like a normal person for the first time. And so since then I've always, of course, avoided, I've been vegan and I kept this lifestyle, and I feel amazing. And the main thing is that I actually found the root cause of the problem, because just avoiding and stop eating all animal products, my skin basically became normal again, and it's now glowing. I feel amazing and I don't have problems anymore. So that is why I'm making these videos and I created this YouTube channel, because I think it's, since I found this solution, I want to spread with you guys if you have like skin problems, because really it changed my life. And I wish someone had told me this really ages ago, because you know, it was just a minor tweak that changed everything. You know, I was trying, oh, you're allergic to dust, or you can't eat that, or it's, you know, the cold weather, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I was confused, you know, and always with these medicines, okay, just take this, take that. I mean, that was just like messing up my body basically. So this is basically my story. I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit long, yeah, 21 minutes. But as I said, in this channel I would like to address this topic and let you know, guys, what my experience is, share with you what I'm doing, and so that you can see and try for yourself and hopefully resolve this problem forever. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.